Let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Miami Heat. At shooting guard, Alec Burks. At center, Khalil Ware. At small forward, Andrew Wiggins. At the other guard position, Tyler Hero. At the other forward position, Bam Adebayo. Head coach of the visiting team is Eric Spoelstra. And now let's make some noise for the starting five for your Utah Jazz. Starting at point guard, at 6'3", number 13, Isaiah Collier. The big man, at 7, number 24, Walker Kessler. Starting at the other guard, at 6'3", number 2, Colin Sexton. At the small forward position, at 7, wearing number 23, Lauri Markkanen. At the other forward position, at 6'9", number 20, John Collins. The head coach of your home team. Make some noise for your Utah Jazz.
Welcome all. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports. We've got some NBA action coming up for you. Joined by Coach Stan Van Gundy and Grant Hill. This is Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce is our reporter. And let's check Miami's starting lineup. They've got Alec Burks. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Bam Adebayo. Then there's Tyler Hero, and it's Ware in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for Utah, Sexton and Markkanen out on the wings. Collins and Kessler there in the middle. And it's Collier in at the point. These teams like to get into the half-court stand. They like to play at their pace.
Yeah, and there's not many teams like that anymore. But it's all about the details and execution for these teams to maximize their possession.
And the Jazz start out with the ball. Pass to Collins. Now here's Kessler. And finished off by Kessler.
I just love the strong finish there inside.
Man, he's got that dunker's mindset, doesn't he? Always ready to pounce. Now here's Hero. Launches a three. Kessler with a rebound. And your first NBA coaching job was with the Miami Heat, Stan. That was as an assistant back in the 90s, just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few, Brian. And the Heat have changed a lot. The game has changed a lot over those years. Look, back then, the Heat were probably the most physical team in the NBA, and it was just knockdown, drag-out fights all the time. Shooting two.
And he makes the first. And for a scorer as prolific as Markkanen, he doesn't need the ball in his hands too often.
So many of his scores come off assists. So just a great sense of when to get into space and become available.
Markkanen hits them both. Well, the Jazz are one of just 10 NBA franchises to never win a championship game.
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to believe considering they have the 4th best winning percentage in NBA history. Think about it. If it weren't for one Michael Jordan, they'd probably have 2 rings.
Here's Collier. The Heat making their last shot. Markkanen outside. Pass to Collins. On the wing, Sexton. Knocks down the long J.
I mean, Sexton can shoot from anywhere. Strong from beyond the arc.
And so Hero will bring it up for the Heat. It's a 5-point game. Puts up a deep 3. And so the ball out of bounds. Hero touched it last. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Will Hardy gave me a few minutes to catch up with him. We chatted about strategy against Andrew Wiggins, and Coach put it simply. He said, quote, we just got to stay on him at the arc, on the inside. We can't let him give our defenders a slip. So the defense is going to try to stay as glued to the nimble Wiggins as possible for this one.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. Here's Ware. From deep 3-point range. It's hauled in by Collier.
We all know he's a good shooter, but from that distance, I don't think so.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
And here are the Heat now. The Jazz making their last shot. Here's Hero on the money from 12 feet away.
Yeah, busting his way inside. Hero making sure he kept moving toward the hoop.
Utah has gone 2 for 3 from outside the arc. Sexton looking around. Markkanen from long range. Rebound by the Heat.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Oh, he muscles it in through the contact. They call the foul, and he's on his way to the line.
Yeah, in a battle of physicality, Adebayo tends to get the best of you.
At 6'9", Bam Adebayo is on the shorter side of centers. Yet, he is elite defensively, Grant.
He's been top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting a bunch of times. Bam has an incredible motor, a great IQ, and he's a switchable big. That's huge in today's game.
And the Heat unveiling the statue of Dwayne Wade, Stan, the face of the franchise forever.
Yeah, Brian, you think of what he meant to this organization, propelling it to its very first championship and then attracting other stars to Miami. He is truly the foundation.
And we think of Clarkson often as a scorer, but there, making the unselfish pass, just great work.
Here's Mitchell. Here's Adebayo. And terrific work on the offensive glass as he picks up the deuce.
Have to take care of the defensive boards better than that.
Yeah, they need to pay attention to the details. Second chance points are backbreaking.
And after putting it down, he dangles from the rim a little.
Man, that's borderline taunting right there, Grant. They're playing with a certain swagger right now. Now here's Mitchell. Three-pointer. Clarkson grabs a miss.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Pass to Potter. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. And there's the 3-second call. This one on the defense. We'll stand former second-round pick Jordan Clarkson. He's averaged double-digit scoring every season.
Yeah, Brian, he's done it primarily as a sixth man. He actually already ranks among the top 10 in all-time points scored off the bench, and he's still moving up the ladder.
It is interesting that he prefers to come off the bench.
Yes, some guys do.
And he shows the focus there. Nails the tee. .32 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Hendricks, no good.
Well, the defense just gave him that shot, and he wasn't able to convert. Very disappointing.
Offensive board. Anderson gets the bucket.
Offensive rebounding is all about wanting it. Fantastic effort there, leading to second chance points.
Clarkson passes to Potter. Nice dish, and the layup goes down.
And you like the balance here, not just falling in love with the three ball.
Timeout called, the Heat. Seven seconds left now in the first quarter. The three from Mitchell knocks it down from distance. The baskets were coming early and often in the first quarter. Utah ahead. They lead by 5. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Utah.
Well, I have to applaud their ball movements. They're moving the ball around, finding the best looks they can, and keeping everyone involved.
And the other thing you notice is how determined they've been to get into the paint and get buckets around the rim.
All right, Grant, give it to us straight here. What's the deal with star treatment in the NBA, you think?
Star treatment? What is that, B.A.? No, I think some players have a reputation which might help them on 50-50 calls. And you could argue that some players have a reputation that hinders them on the 50-50 calls. So it really just all depends.
And let's take a look at Miami. Jaime Jaquez out there with Andrew Wiggins. And it's Terry Rozier, and it's Ware in at the 5.
Just a gutsy play by George inside, finding the close-range look.
Here's Rozier, following the bucket by Utah.
Well, that's a miss you can live with. I expect they'll go to it again, especially if the defense continues to concede it.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Hey, Brian. The Jazz are making progress. Coach Will Hardy said this team has shown grit and character and has developed a lot of confidence. When we're going through game preparation, the players walk away knowing if they do certain things, they can win. That's a big step in the right direction.
A bright future, Allie. Thank you. Kessler, he's checked in for Utah. Lowry Markkanen comes in for Sensabaugh. Hero, he's checked in for Miami. Maybe the results haven't been there in recent seasons, but the Jazz have an exciting young core, Coach.
Yeah, they do, B.A. They've focused on youth, and some of those guys are developing into very good players. If this core stays in place and gels and they can add to it a little bit, watch out for this Jazz team.
And here are the Heat now, following the bucket by Utah. And again, no good by Miami. Markkanen looking it over. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter. And then it's Collins with the dunk.
Yeah, just a nice show of force by Collins, taking it all the way to the rim and flushing it home.
trail by 8. Timeout called. The Heat will coach Lowry Markkanen. It's been an interesting study to watch his game continue to improve every year.
Yeah, it certainly has, Brian. You know, he was a complimentary player for quite a while, and then finally has developed into a primary offensive threat, and he has thrived.
He's checked in for George. Highsmith, he's checked in for Miami. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Good call, ball.
Here's Collier. Pass to Mark. Markkanen. The rebound by Wiggins. And so it's Wiggins with it. He brings it up for the Heat. Trailing by 8 from outside the arc. Oh, Wiggins! Bullseye with the 3.
Yeah, from the perimeter, Wiggins can be very, very efficient. You just can't allow him to find those looks.
Hero against Sexton. It's tipped. Hero outside. Out left to the wing. Here's Highsmith. And again, it's Miami from deep.
Yeah, a versatile player. Hero is terrific at sensing when his guys are open.
Stan, another head coach from the Greg Popovich tree. Will Hardy, who started his career in San Antonio.
And there have been a lot of successful guys that have come through the Spurs organization. Will Hardy is just another one who is developing into an outstanding NBA coach.
Here's Rozier, following the bucket by the Jazz. And the bucket is good. Rozier's got 5 points now this quarter.
This guy is a fighter. Rozier, just a workhorse who enjoys scoring on the aggressive coverage.
Collins outside. It's Markkanen on the wing. Offline with a 3.
I can't believe he missed that 3. Regardless, that's not a shot the defense should be giving it.
Here's Ware. Can't tie it up. That one misses. For Utah, they've gone 4 of 10 from the field in the second. Lets it go from 14. The offensive rebound. Kessler, no good. Miami trailing. 27 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Here's Ware. He nails it, and we're tied.
Oh, he'll wear you down with the way he grinds it out on the offensive glass.
Markkanen against Wiggins. They get it back. Kicks it out to Collins. And it's out of bounds. Still Utah's ball.
Substitution on the court.
Fires the three. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Program. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Utah found themselves in a close game in the first. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. They couldn't hold on to the slim lead they had at the start of the second quarter and headed into the locker room with the game all knotted up. What did you think about Utah, Kenny?
It's always a positive sign to see assist numbers like this. They're moving the rock to keep each other happy. It's a brand of unselfish basketball that's fun to watch and play.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Miami.
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. Good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, this second half could turn out to be a great one, as both teams trying to gain an edge. We've seen Walker Kessler really having a great game.
And he was a beast on the offensive glass in that first half. How can they slow him down?
Yeah, look, even when you put a body on him, he finds ways to extend possession.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Miami has gone 4 of 9 so far from the perimeter. Collins and Kessler there in the middle. Sexton and Markkanen out on the wings. And it's Collier in at the point guard position. That's the group for Utah right now.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
There's the drive. And that one's good. Collier's got 5 now. And, Coach, you've been lauded by some of your former players for your pregame preparation. I've seen it myself in the broadcasting world.
Well, I've also been cursed by some of those players for my pregame walkthroughs, Brian. People thought they were way too long, but I just wanted to be as prepared as possible and was one that always believed I'd rather do too much than too little.
You can really see their confidence growing as this game has gone on. They have reason to believe now.
Yeah, they're in this one. They have some momentum on their side, and they just need to keep up the intensity.
A multiple-time All-Star. What aspect of Adebayo's game stand catches your eye nightly?
Well, Brian, I'd say it's not one thing. He's a very complete player. He can rebound, defend, pass, score. This guy does it all.
And by all accounts, a great teammate as well.
That's exactly right.
And that one misses.
And what makes Bam special is his versatility, offensively and defensively. He can do a lot more out there for you than most other guys.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Hey, Brian, John Collins is fitting nicely on the Jazz, and Coach Will Hardy said he's given us a huge lift on the offensive end. He's a tough cover, the way he's able to mix up popping and rolling. The defense can't prepare for just one thing. It makes him a dynamic threat.
Able to score on multiple levels, Allie. Thank you. That free throw good from Sexton. You know, Grant, looking at the career of Colin Sexton, he had a huge third season, averaged 24 a game.
Yeah, B.A., and unfortunately, Colin hurt his knee early during his 4th year. Had season-ending surgery, but we've seen Sexton make a full comeback and just a dynamic scoring guard.
Utah making a switch here. George is checked in. All right, both free throws good from Sexton. And remember, despite a great start to his career, Colin Sexton was traded after his 4th year, Coach.
Yeah, well, Brian, it seems like everybody gets traded at some point now, and Sexton has responded well to that deal. He understands it's not personal, it's a business. He deserves a lot of credit for what he's done.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, too. The team that traded you, there's also a team that wanted you in trade.
So true.
Let's give Coach credit. He's trying to find a way to squeeze the most out of every possession.
Well, that's the job, right? Your duty as a coach is to finesse your lineups so your guys get the best chance to succeed.
Look what it is, man. It's your Utah Jazz.
Second half getting started. About a minute played to the paint. And stolen by Sexton. And now the Jazz on the run in transition. And a two-handed jam.
Never bashful about showcasing his athleticism. Sexton can really get up and finish.
Burks for three. Nails it from beyond the arc. Burks has got 5.
Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense.
Pass to Sexton. And he jams it home with authority.
A growing aspect of Georgia's game. He's working to become a strong facilitator.
Well, Coach, how about the Eric Spoelstra story? Started as a video coordinator with the Heat back in '95. You were an assistant in Miami back then.
Yeah, look, Brian, even then, Eric is one of the rare guys that all of us on the staff knew right from the beginning that he had all the makings of a great coach. Players trusted him and had confidence in his ability to help them.
From the video room to the Hall of Fame one day.
No question.
And the shot's good by Wiggins.
So polished from this painted area. Love watching Wiggins do his thing close to the basket.
And Utah calls time here. Stan, you coached some great defensive anchors in your time. Who do you view as the best in the game today?
Well, Brian, you probably have to start with Rudy Gobert, but we've got guys like Brook Lopez, Jaren Jackson, Anthony Davis, and then we've got 2 young ones coming up that could be as good as we've seen in Wemby and Chet Holmgren.
Group substitution here for Utah. Filipowski, he's checked in for Kessler. Potter comes in for John Collins. Sensabaugh is checked in for Markkanen. And Jordan Clarkson subbed in for Sexton. Now here's George. Pass to Sensabaugh. He hits the back iron and sinks it. Sensabaugh's got his first bucket in this one. A minute 31 left in the third quarter. Here's Mitchell. Shoots over George. Offensive rebound. Adebayo. And it's good for 2. Adebayo's got 9 points.
A tireless worker at both ends. Adebayo imposing his will that time on the offensive glass.
Potter, pass to Filipowski. And he goes up strong with a one-handed jam.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
And, guys, you cannot allow that in a close game. You have to make it harder than that.
Utah leading. Here's Sensabaugh. Adebayo grabs the board. Adebayo's got 5 rebounds tonight. Robinson on the wing. Yes, and it's Adebayo picking up the assist. Here in the second half, these teams still neck and neck.
I really like how each team is matching the other's intensity.
To the middle. Here's Sensabaugh. Pass to Potter. Mitchell against George. Goes back up. 6 to shoot. Over Mitchell. Misses off the right iron. Now Adebayo. The 3. No good that time. And we've just finished the third quarter. What a tight game we've got going. Miami out in front, leading by a point. And we'll be back with you shortly. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist to the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Well, it's one of the core parts of the game. Reading the defense and creating an easy bucket for your teammate. That is pretty.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we'll start the fourth in what is still anybody's ball game. On the floor for Miami, starting the fourth quarter. Andrew Wiggins is out there with Kyle Anderson. Then it's Duncan Robinson. Then it's Bam Adebayo. And it's Hero in at the 1. Count it.
And just muscling it in. George, very aggressive.
Miami trailing. And here's Adebayo. From deep, an absolute bomb from three-point range. Tight ball game coming down the stretch.
Yeah, with 7 lead changes thus far, this has been a thriller.
Here's Sexton. Rebound Miami. Now here's Wiggins. From 15 feet away, Sexton grabs the board. George, right side. And he banks in the layup.
It's winning time, and that's a winning play.
We played just over a minute here in the fourth. Anderson with it. Shoots over Collins. Anderson can't get it to go. The Jazz have gone 2 of 3 to open the fourth quarter. Pass to George. Here's Filipowski. Oh, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Here's my question. Where is the defensive communication?
Well, I can tell you, this kind of defense will drive coaches crazy.
Now here's Hero. Over George. Here's Adebayo. That's basket number 6 in 8 tries.
And just an effective offensive talent. Adebayo plays so hard, and that's really what drives his game.
And Utah calls time here. for Utah. Kessler, he's checked in for Collins. Lowry Markkinen comes in for Hendricks. And it's Collier in for George. Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I was able to listen in on what Will Hardy was going over with his team. He pleaded with his guys to keep their emotions in check, saying, you're battling right now. Continue to play smart. Don't try to be a hero out there. Play for one another. Guys, let's see what happens.
Thank you for that, Allie. Utah with the rebound. Markkanen's got 4 rebounds now. For Utah, they've gotten 4 of 5 attempts to fall so far in the fourth. Oh, rejected by Wiggins.
And I love the energy on defense. Wiggins working hard to come up with the block right there.
Pass to Filipowski. There's the triple. Adebayo grabs the board. Adebayo's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. From behind the arc. Utah grabs the miss. Markkanen's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Collier. Oh, there's the alley. And finished off by Kessler.
The great read between those two guys. The defense didn't stand a chance, B.A.
These two teammates right here, Grant, they are connected. Hero for 3. Drains the triple.
Well, this is what he does. A proven scorer in the clutch.
Here's Collier. He's guarded by Hero. For 3, Sexton. The rebound by Ware. Miami has got 7 of their 16 three-point attempts to go in. It's good!
There is absolutely no fear in his eyes. He loves the moment.
Yeah, and I can say from experience, his coach just breathed a huge sigh of relief.
Another shot. Collier, no good. Expect them to take their time this trip down.
Yeah, B.A. The clock is theirs to burn.
And it's Ware missing. Now a timeout called by Utah. They're behind by 1. 23 seconds left in the final quarter. All right, guys, what's your take?
This is where your coaching is so important. They need a really good play now.
Well, they'll likely only get one shot at this. They need to make it count.
Take a look at the New Balance player of the game, Bam Adebayo.
With the way he shot the ball, he had to be the choice. His percentage was fantastic, and he's just done a great job of finding space and taking advantage of every inch the defense gives him.
John Collins checked in for Utah. Collier. Here's Kessler. Oh, he got it! He got it!
And they aren't over the limit yet.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over. They're behind by 1. 15 seconds left in the game. It's a one-point game. It falls!
A huge bucket for Hero. I mean, we've seen it do it in the finals, and the moment not too big for Tyler.
Here's Collier. And he's going for the lob. Money.
They keep capturing the lead, then giving it back. We'll see if they can hold on to it this time.
Well, this is why the fans are here. Each team trading blows, increasing the entertainment value.
Time called here. Miami decides to talk it over. They're down by 1. 3 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. All right, guys, what's your take?
And this is what it's all about. This shot could win the game. Not much time left, but they have just enough to execute a play.
Here's Hero. Count it!
Nice sequence off the inbound. Ball movement and player movement creating the good look.
So it's the Heat taking the W at a close one. And this was an emotional win for them. No doubt about it.
Just a fantastic accomplishment. You love how they just diffuse the energy in this arena.
And that about wraps it up. For Grant Hill, Stan Van Gundy, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson signing off. So long, everyone.
forward, 6'9", number 8, Zaire Williams. And guard, 6'5", number 1, D'Angelo Russell. At center, 6'11", number 33, Nicholas Claxton. At forward, 6'8", number 2, Cam Johnson. Guard, 6'3", number 24, Cam Thomas. The head coach of your team. One more time for your Brooklyn Nets.
Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming up. Great to have you with us. Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me, Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony. And as always, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines. Here's the starting group for Houston. At the guard positions, Van Fleet and Green. Dylan Brooks out there with Amen Thompson. And it's Şengün in at the center position. And for the Nets, down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Cam Thomas is out there with D'Angelo Russell. And it's Williams at the small forward. RJ, this could be a battle won in the trenches. Each team with a formidable front court.
Yeah, both these teams are loaded with a lot of skill down low. Kind of old school. Should be a physical contest.
Now, here is Russell. Pass to Claxton. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Using outstanding floor awareness there. Russell's ability to pick apart the defense and find the open man.
Here's Green. Drops one in from the wing.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Outside Williams. He dishes it to Russell. It's Thomas outside. It's rebounded by Şengün.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
GA, if you look back at the Rockets' history, so many all-time greats have spent time there.
Yeah, it's an impressive list, right? Olajuwon, Moses Malone, Calvin Murphy, and Harden. Houston's well represented in the Hall of Fame.
Brooklyn's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Claxton, and Claxton throws it down.
Getting everyone involved. Russell operating the offense like a seasoned vet.
Rockets have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. The deep 3 from Van Fleet. Shot clock reset for the Rockets. And the shot is good.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total with the putback.
With the start that he's having, I expect a monster night.
Rockets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Green against Thomas. Green, no luck.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And you look at the career of D'Angelo Russell. I mean, he's played for several teams, including the Lakers twice.
Teams keep trading for D'Lo for his offense. He can be electric. There is a reason why he's been named an all-star in his career.
Free throw no good for Johnson.
It's a luxury to have a guy like Johnson that can bang down low and knock him down at the stripe.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter.
2 minutes to play. First quarter.
Outside Russell. Back to Johnson. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
It works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
There's Green with the 3. Kept alive. Here's Şengün. Takes it off the glass. Şengün's got 6.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Oh, yeah, you think you got to stop, and it's wasted because of sloppy work on the glass. You literally practice that every day.
Now, here's Şengün. He has 6. Pass to Thompson. Tries again. Fires from the wing. Şengün, no good.
No clue how he misfired on that shot. You don't see that from him very often.
Russell dishes to Johnson. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Johnson's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Look at the release from Johnson, getting that shot off before the defenders can close out.
Thompson misses. And stolen by Şengün. Over Williams. Şengün with the bucket. He's got 8.
Well, you like guys who can work that in-between area. Really keeps the defense honest.
And when we talk about the numbers, the analytics for great shooters like him, pretty much any shot is a good one.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
And that's his MO. Be physical, get in position for the putback, and throw it down. The defense got to know that's what he's looking to do.
Here's Thompson. After the basket by Brooklyn, bangs home the trifecta.
Defensively, you have to live with Thompson making those, because if you get up too close at the arc, Ahmed will blow right by you.
Thomas, no luck.
That's just a bucket. Look, you expect him to make. It's tough when you miss those.
Van Vliet passes to Şengün. And it's Brooks in the corner over Williams. Here's Green. A beautiful reverse layup.
Man, he's got such a great touch and feel around the basket. He made that reverse look easy.
You can't get that one to fall. Şengün, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Houston Rockets. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Just cashing in on second chance opportunities. That's how they built this early lead.
When you're the more aggressive club, good things tend to happen. We'll see if they can maintain this level of intensity.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds that time.
Next ball.
That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession. You know, the hopes of a super team in Brooklyn did. Not come to fruition at all, Richard, and you saw it firsthand.
Thank you for reminding me of that, Kevin. Yes, I had a front row view to it. And look, from a fan's perspective, it's a tough take. The team brings in some of the biggest stars this league has ever seen. You are thinking championship, and you never got it.
An active competitor, Russell won't go down without a fight, especially around the rim.
Watford out there with Wilson. Then it's Sharp. Then it's Russell. And it's Johnson in at the 2-guard spot. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter.
The D just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
Russell with a wide open look. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Houston leading by 5. Now Whitmore. Passes to Adams. Over Wilson. And Adams with the basket on the assist by Whitmore. Adams has got his first points of the game. And the net shooting 43% from the field. Now, here is Russell. To the paint. Here's Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
And although he's undersized in his position, his vertical, yeah, that'll clean up a few mistakes.
A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin, the Brooklyn Nets wasted no time hiring their next coach, Jordi Fernandez, shortly after the conclusion of last season. Despite his youth, Fernandez has been on the rise after stops as an assistant to the Kings, Nuggets, and Cavs, as well as coaching the Canadian national team. Kevin?
DA, we've been talking about Jordi Fernandez for a long time. Now his big break, and I'm very happy. I know we all are for Coach Fernandez. Hey, David, thank you. Here's Russell after the Rockets pick up 3. The pass to Watford. Greg, we know about the Euro step, but is the decel the next move that's getting more notice?
I think it is, Kevin, and you can see players have quickly incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
And Brooklyn has possession following the score by Houston. Back to Johnson. Over Whitmore. Shot by Johnson, no good.
I think the defense will live with him taking mid-range jumpers, but maybe just a little bit more resistance.
Chalk up 2 there.
And he might be a rookie, but Whitmore can play some bully ball. He will get it inside and be as physical as anybody.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
Things not going their way, and he wants to just try to talk this one over.
Good timeout, if you ask me. They have the momentum, and Coach wants to find a way to try and stop it.
A new lineup here for Houston. A minute 20 left in the first half of the game. Williams. The offensive rebound. Claxton inside. He's against Green. Johnson. Good.
Smart decision to kick it out to another guy once the defense is fixated on him in the paint.
And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Rockets. Outside, Green. Good defense by Claxton. Stolen by Brooks. From deep three-point land. Johnson with the rebound. Nets trail by 6. Williams kicks to Johnson. Green with the block. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Just a late reaction there from the defense, and he is always going to finish that.
Johnson double team. Claxton the pass to Johnson. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Claxton. And Claxton throws it down.
Oh, power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. And that concludes the first half. Rockets lead by 6. Live from Brooklyn, New York, you're watching 2K Sports.
And your next,
it's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. They had a 4-point advantage at the end of the period. Looking at Houston, Kenny, how'd you see it?
I have to applaud their offensive consistency. They're not wasting possessions or taking bad shots. That's a testament to their patience, their discipline. They're focusing on playing intelligent basketball.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Nets.
They didn't get much help from the bench, Ernie. They could really use that spark to balance the load. Some nights you get the job done with your starters, but you can't depend on them to do everything.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Alperen Şengün has been sensational.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
I like how they came into this one with a game plan, and they're just going out and executing it. Terrific job.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. That'll be a 5-second call.
next ball.
Williams against Green. Claxton the pass to Russell. A three-pointer, no good. Rockets leading by 6. The recent history of the Nets. You know, Greg, they're always looking for a big splash or a quick fix to be competitive.
And Kevin, this franchise has sold its future more than a few times, but they always find a way to bounce back. You hope they don't go for a quick fix with this group.
So on the floor for Houston, running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Alperen Şengün out there with Thompson. And it's Van Vliet in at the point guard. Here's Van Vliet. After the basket by Brooklyn. Got that one up quick. Thompson's got the lead up to 9 now for Houston.
And you can always count on Van Vliet to make the right play. He doesn't make too many bad decisions when he's got the ball in his hands.
Here's Claxton. 8 points for him. Johnson wide open. He fires. Offline with his 3. Houston's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Here's Şengün. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Brooklyn's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Williams finds Russell. Inside. And Claxton throws it down.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket guy still shaking. High post try, and Green gets it to go. Green's got 5 points now this quarter.
I love seeing Green capitalize from that mid-range. These shots help get him into a groove.
Thomas, no good. Houston leading by 9. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
Russell against Van Vliet. Puts up a deep 3. Brooklyn with the rebound. Williams has got his 4th rebound in this one. Thomas, it's a wide open look. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Now just a 5-point Rocket lead. And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
And we see it so often. One little tweak to the game plan and everything falls into place for a team.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Green, he's checked in for Şengün. Jabari Smith comes in for Amen Thompson. Tari Eason's checked in for Brooks. And Aaron Holiday's subbed in for Fred VanVleet. RJ, the Rockets don't just have young talent. They have elite young talent.
Yeah, you can have all the high draft picks in the world. That doesn't mean you're going to hit on the right guys. But Houston, they certainly have.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, thanks. Jalen Green has shown he's capable of carrying a team offensively. He said, it feels good knowing that my teammates believe in me to do that. I've had to learn a lot of things to grow, but that's what I work for. I want to be one of those guys that you give the ball to in crunch time. Kevin, I always want to give the mic to you in crunch time. Back to you.
Oh, David, you are an unselfish playmaker, and I appreciate that. By the way, Green can be electric and so fun to watch. Hey, D.A., thanks.
Look, Green is one of those players that always finds a way to create something offensively that gets his team good looks.
Johnson outside. Pass to Sharp. Wilson against Eason. Poke loose. The shot by Wilson, no good. Rockets leading by 8. Eason's shot is good. Eason's got his first bucket in this one.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
That's a great possession. Put your best players in a position to succeed.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. So RJ, the Rockets last year, they were exactly at 500. 41 up and 41 down.
Still, they missed the play-in by 5 games. In the East, they easily are in. That just tells you how difficult a rebuild in the Western Conference is. And Houston is up against it.
First one falls for him. It's also good, so he hits both free throws. Following some ups and downs, Richard, the Brooklyn Nets, and you know this, they're back in rebuild mode.
Yes, unfortunately they are, but fans shouldn't let the word rebuild discourage them. The Nets still have a ton of solid pieces, and it's just a question of making smart moves from here on out.
And something that's already interesting about Jabari Smith is his versatility, scoring from beyond the arc or at the mid-range. He can get points a number of ways.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Smith hits them both.
It's always nice to see a big fella be able to knock down some free throws and make teams pay from the line.
To the inside, here's Russell, and the slam dunk by Russell.
I love the spatial awareness from Russell. Saw how much room he had and just took it aggressively.
Down low, here's Green. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling, and he's going to put his foot on the pedal. You'd love to get the ball this close in every trip where you can almost just not miss.
Here's Holiday. It's deflected. 1 second left. No good there. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Houston on top, up 8. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
I feel like we've seen more slick passing big man in the league today than we've ever seen.
The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Brooklyn. 8-point game. Cam Thomas is out there with Johnson. Then it's Williams. Then it's Sharp. And it's Johnson in at the 4. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Shoots from the elbow. The shot by Thompson, no good.
I don't know if he got in his own head there or what, because the defense can't really take credit for that miss.
Here's Thomas. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. Rockets leading by 6. Got a piece of it. Smith. Johnson with the block.
Good anticipation from Johnson. Saw the shot coming and got a hand on it.
Johnson kicks to Johnson. Off target with his 3. And for Houston, they're shooting an outstanding 53% for the game. Thompson passes to Green. Shoots the 3. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Coach has to be pleased with what Green is doing out there, playing with a ton of energy on the offensive end.
Okay, time for an injury report. Let's get an update now on Nick Claxton. What's the status, David?
Hey, Kevin, I spoke with the head athletic trainer for Brooklyn. He's got an injury to his elbow, specifically his elbow joint, and it looks like it's a pinched nerve.
Thanks for the status report there, David. At least we now know, Greg, how he's doing.
Yeah, when you talk injury, the unknown factor is always a difficult thing to deal with.
And you never want to speculate. So it's nice for us, and especially his teammates, to get some facts.
Here's Şengün. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Ooh, he's earning his keep offensively, a key part of their winning effort at this point.
Green against Thomas. The shot by Sharp. Nobody around. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Nicholas Claxton's checked in for the Nets. Houston also making some changes. Brooks checked in for Tari Eason. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Smith. Rockets leading by 8. VanVleet outside. It's good.
Man, unafraid to challenge the heart of this defense. VanVleet's a strong finisher for his size.
Johnson against VanVleet. Williams looking over the floor. Puts up a 3. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Şengün. Russell is checked in for Johnson.
D'Angelo Russell.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Outside Thomas. Shot clock at 5. Johnson's shot is off. Houston leading by 10. VanVleet with it. He's picked up by Russell. And good that time.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
If you want to be great, you have to have that killer instinct.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for Houston.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Yeah, and Kevin, not all about luck. I thought their overall shot selection was better.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Şengün.
The work he put in on the glass helped shape this game, never taking a play off and closing out a number of possessions.
Let's present our New Balance Player of the Game, Alperen Şengün.
And he's put on a terrific show of skill in the paint. A combination of moves, footwork, and that soft touch down low. It's all added up to one dominant performance for the big fella.
He got an extra boost from the grief these fans were giving him here tonight. They were riding him hard all night, and he ate it up. Some guys just like being the villain, I guess. They get it back. Makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
They just blocked out the noise, kept on grinding, and this is their reward.
Oh, road fans, they're just so sweet. They're just so sweet. You know why? Because they are so hard to come by.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Adams, he's checked in for Şengün. Green comes in for Thompson. Cam Whitmore, he's checked in for Green. And Aaron Holiday's subbed in for Fred VanVleet. Now here's Thomas. To halt the run, shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Steven Adams picks one up. Well, you talk about Cam Thomas. RJ, he's one of the most explosive scorers I know in the NBA.
Well, after Kyrie and KD got traded out of Brooklyn, Thomas went off, putting together a streak of 3 straight 40-point games.
2.
And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Thomas. Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
Just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
Here's Watford. They get the rebound. And Clowney can't get it to go. Right side, Green. Can't cash in on the 10-foot jumper. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that'll do it, folks. And so for Richard Jefferson, Greg Anthony, and our reporter David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thank you for tuning in to watch the NBA on 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone.